Hi everyone, it's CricketSong with Inner Wisdom, and this is going to be another tarot spreads video. The spread we're doing today is called the Soulmate. So the spread we're going to be looking at can be found in this book, Illustrated Tarot Spread, 78 New Layouts for Personal Discovery by Fellminer and Schreiner. And this particular spread, the Soulmate, can be found on page 37. So let's look at the layout. There are 6 cards in this spread, and this is how you're going to lay them out. Card number 1. This card is, what does my soulmate look like? Card number 2, which is being placed over here. This card represents, how can we meet? Card number 3 goes here. What do we have in common? Card number 4. What obstacles still have to be overcome? Card number 5. What kind of task needs to be completed? And card number 6. What does the Oracle say about our future together? The Soulmate spread. This is what it looks like. So, what does my soulmate look like? How can we meet? What do we have in common? What obstacles still have to be overcome? What kind of task must be completed? What does the Oracle say about our future together? So let's start. I'm going to interpret this. If I pulled these cards, say it was for me in regards to my soulmate. Now, when I read and when I use the term soulmate, what this means to me is not necessarily the person I'm going to be living happily ever after with, but the person that, or persons, because I believe we can have more than one soulmate, is someone that we are meant to connect with in this incarnation because there is work to be done together. That we agreed on a soul vibration level that we were going to meet again in this time, that we've met in previous times, and there is work for us to do together on a soul level. So this is what I would interpret as a soulmate. That's my interpretation. So when I look at this spread, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at someone I may have a romantic relationship with. It's possible, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is definite, that it is absolutely going to happen. So what does my soulmate look like? So when I look at this card, I can either, number 1, look at the figure in the card and say, hey, this is what this person looks like. It's going to be a woman because this figure looks like a woman to me. Maybe this figure looks like a man to you. You take, whatever, but this is how I would interpret it. So I might say that this person is a female with dark hair. I also then look at how I look at the card, and I look at the 2 of Swords as a very defensive card. So I would say that this person looks like they're always on the defense. They're always trying to protect themselves. So they may not look me in the eye, which means, again, look at the image. The person has a blindfold on. So they may not look me in the eye. They may not look anybody in the eye. They may feel very uncomfortable looking people in the eye. They may always have a defensive body language, meaning that they may stand with their arms crossed. They may be very quiet because they use that as a defense. So when I look at this person, I'm going to be looking at someone who has very closed off body language, who doesn't look me in the eye, who has dark hair, who is maybe, depending on how you interpret this image, I look at it as a female. My soulmate is a female, maybe short dark hair. These are things that I would give as an indication of what I'm looking for in a physical representation of my soulmate in this time. 2, how can we meet? And the moon represents how we can meet. So when I look at the moon, it tells me that we're going to meet probably, if we're looking at a time, we're looking at, when it's dark out, when it's nighttime or twilight. How we can meet it suggests in secret, almost as if when we meet, we won't be telling other people that we've met or that we have established some sort of connection, some sort of relationship in some way. It may have been accidental in our meeting, but it's going to be something that we're not going to, jump up and down and tell everybody about. We're not going to be like, hey, look who I met. It's going to be a quiet, a secret, almost like a secretive kind of thing. That's how we're going to meet. What do we have in common? Number 3. Well, because I'm just looking at the 10 of Wands here, reversed, this tells me, if I normally see the 10 of Wands, it talks about having a lot of responsibilities, having a lot of burdens. We're very busy people. We have obligations. But because this is a reversed card, it feels to me as if we did, but at this point in time, we feel freer, that some of our obligations and responsibilities are falling away, that we are letting some of them go. Perhaps we're in some sort of transition where maybe we were going to school and going to work, and maybe we had children and a husband or a boyfriend, and we had a part-time job, and we were taking care of sick parents. Maybe we had all these obligations, but now these seem to be falling away, making space in our lives for this new connection. So that's what we have in common. We had a lot of obligations, but some of them are falling away. What obstacles still have to be overcome? And that's the 2 of Cups. Well, this suggests, when I see the 2 of Cups, it talks about being on the same page, being in the same spot, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. So whether this is talking about me and my soulmate, we're not quite on the same page yet. Maybe I've made more room in my life and she has not. Or this could mean that I'm in a relationship that I need to let go of in order to make room for this new relationship with her. So, when we're talking about relationships, at least for me, I'm talking about any sort of relationships. Family, friends, co-workers, relatives, boyfriend, significant other, whatever. Any sort of relationship. So there may be a relationship that's taking a lot of my time, a lot of my energy, a lot of my focus that I need to let go of before she can be part of my life. Maybe it's my soulmate who is in the middle of some sort of messy relationship that she needs to sort out before she can focus on our relationship. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a romance. We can be caught up in taking care of someone, or maybe we're in the middle, she or I are in the middle of a messy divorce, or just a messy friendship situation. That needs to be taken care of before we can connect. So that is an obstacle that still needs to be overcome. What kind of task still has to be completed? And that's the Chariot here. And for me, the Chariot represents victory over some sort of major obstacle, conflict, or some sort of significant thing. The Chariot is a major arcana card. The second one in the reading, the other one was how can we meet? So the obstacle here is the Chariot reversed, which again talks to me about overcoming some major thing, some major event, some major circumstance, some major energetic obstacle. And it's reversed. So it tells me that it's been done. This has been overcome, but like the consequences of that are still needing to be ironed out. That may go hand in hand with the card right across from it, which was what still needs to be overcome, this needs to be completed. These two could go hand in hand. If you know how I was saying, if this person or I am going through a divorce, the marriage is done, but the consequences need to be handled, which talks could be part of that. So this could be a connection to that, or it could be something completely different. If I were reading this, I really feel like it's connected, which is how I would read it, that whatever obstacle still needs to be overcome, it's connected to the task that needs to be completed. So until you complete the task, which if we're talking about a divorce, once you've completed the divorce and then you've overcome that emotional connection in that relationship, then this would work, you know, you'd be able to connect. And then ultimately, what does the Oracle say about our future together? It's the last card, and that is the Six of Swords, which usually talks to me about separation, about moving from something that's been turbulent into a peaceful place. So I feel like when the two of us come together, there's going to be some sort of peace and tranquility in our lives, that the other person, the soulmate, is going to bring in this recognition and sort of this balm over the spirit, over the essence of who I am, and I would do the same for her. It's like coming home again kind of thing. It's that sort of salve to the soul that is coming, and that's how this relationship will, the outcome of the relationship, that together, when we're connected, whatever it is we're meant to do or to be to each other will bring a peace and tranquility into each of our lives. So that is the soulmate spread. That's how I would read these particular cards in this spread. If you have spreads that you're interested in, that you'd like me to take a look, please feel free to send them to my email address at CricketSong@lunarwisdom.net. If this intrigued you, I do offer readings, tarot readings, oracle readings, witches' runes readings, crystal ball readings, past life readings. I think that's it. Go check it out on my website at www.lunarwisdom.net. And until next time, I love you. Mwah.